Are we live?
All things
We
said.
are live. Hello,
Yay!
everybody, and happy Wednesday. Welcome to our live stream. We're the movie couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And yay, we're so excited that you guys have tuned in to, I don't know, watch us hang out and talk
And
and
talk some movie and pop culture stuff. Always fun.
be very awkward today because for some reason I'm feeling a little awkward. I think, I woke up
Mm.
earlier. Well, it's not a thing.
Oh.
It's not like a bad, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just feel like, I don't know. Like it's not like a oh they're there sort of a thing. It's just
Let me
like
comfort you.
I don't usually feel awkward during a live stream, but today I feel I do a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe
Mm.
it's because I did wake up much earlier than I usually do today to prep for something that I can't talk about yet. I will announce it when I'm allowed to announce it. But it's all good. It's good stuff.
Well, that and also, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but every now and again, you'll probably notice
Yeah.
it. We have some construction going out in the alleyway by by our apartment, and our unit is like right smack dab next to the alleyway. So bright and early this morning, we hear like they're all like they're tearing up the road, they're tearing up the alleyway, and they're repaving it, and they're doing all this stuff, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
Like our apartment shook.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like the windows started to rattle.
it's really annoying, and we found out that it's not just today, it's the rest of this week as well as sometime next week. So it's like kind of inconvenient because we thought it would just be for today, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's not going to be for just today. It's not even just going to be for this week. It's for 2 weeks, and
2 weeks.
we can't move our cars out of our driveway because our driveway goes directly onto the alleyway that they're actually working
Mm-hmm.
on. So we're blocked in. Luckily, one of our cars is on the street, but like, can you imagine if we didn't do that? We'd just be literally stuck. And like, I'm not gonna get into an Uber.
Yeah, same here. I mean, if an emergency happens and we have to go somewhere, we would be trapped in our apartment. We would not have
Yeah.
any access to actually get in our cars to the road.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit of a
Why are
CF.
we shifting so much? Sorry, I'm just
Me?
looking at our frame.
I'm
Well,
sorry. Every time I move, I I dink on one of the little things, and it's constantly like
okay,
a little
okay. Let
metal
me
thing.
sorry for my
So
hand,
it's just
guys.
my apologies.
I just gotta when it's
Here
on
are
when it's
incredibly professional setup.
when it's super unbalanced on both sides, it drives me crazy. My OCD kicks in. I'm like, what is that? So, anyways, we have a really fun show today. Some of the topics that we are going to cover, we will be talking about. There's a Lego version of the Nintendo NES.
Which looks so
What?
cool.
Giancarlo Esposito in the Far Cry 6 trailer. We're gonna take a look at maybe it's a cheetah poster. We'll get a little bit for Wonder Woman 1984. So we'll get a little bit more into that in just a second. There's going to be a new Rorschach comic. There's going to be a new Bad Batch series at Disney Plus. There is a Usagi Yojimbo series coming to Netflix, and so much more. So while before we jump into all that, I just kind of want to update you guys. I can't talk today.
It's okay.
What is with me? Is it because I woke up super early?
Well, and just not and all the construction probably throws us off.
I think that's
so.
messing me with me a lot because for the past like ever since quarantine started, it's been just real quiet in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And this is the complete opposite. And imagine waking up like well before your alarm clock. You're like, what is that? Is this the big one?
Yeah.
Or is it not? So it's a little jarring. So maybe that's what's throwing me off. So I apologize. As you guys saw, we didn't put really up like a structured schedule on some of our releases. So we have, I think, 3 new videos that are up as of yesterday. As of now, we have a trailer reaction for Netflix's new season of Street Food, where they go to Latin America. Don't watch it if you're hungry. Don't. I mean, I think honestly,
well, please watch it.
But even if you're full, it can't help you. It's kind of like when we watch a Mike Chen Strictly Dumpling video.
Oh, Mike Chen.
It's the same thing. Like I would be completely full. I've just eaten. It's kind of like, you can't hurt me, Mike Chen. I've
and
eaten.
Sure enough.
And then as soon as like he shows any sort of food in his videos, I'm like, ooh, that looks really good. And then like immediately I'm hungry. And I'm like, how?
And there's been some times when we've gotten like, we just put together a makeshift dinner or something. We're like, oh, let's watch some Strictly Dumpling. Yeah. And we'll sit down and then we'll watch what he's eating and then look down at what we're eating and be like, this did look appetizing earlier, but now that looks so much more appetizing.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance to watch the first season of Street Food, it's amazing, but make sure you get some good food that will satisfy you while you watch that, because you'll be like, I want to reach through the TV screen and be like, I'm just going to take a bite of that.
I want what they have.
Exactly.
I want what they have. And before we go any further on some of our new videos, we have a super chat from Chris Mendez. Thank you so much.
Woo!
Guys, it's time for Chris's choice. And for today's Chris's choice, he says, okay, time for villains. Who would win in this battle? Darth Vader versus Thanos. The only thing Thanos does not have is the snap, which means he has the gauntlet, he has the stones, he cannot snap.
Okay.
Chris, I absolutely love this question. I actually already have an answer.
Oh.
Pretty much immediately, I would put my money on Thanos.
Yeah, I think if he has the Infinity Gauntlet, yeah.
Because you have the Time Stone, you have the Reality Stone, you have the power, you have soul, what else is there?
There's also the Mind Stone.
The mind. Like, that's so much. And I understand Vader is one with the Force. He can also Jedi mind trick you and stuff like that. But something he may not be able to do is alter time. We know that he can't alter time.
Yeah.
And he cannot alter the reality. And that's the two things that Thanos, with the stones and having the gauntlet, that would allow him to do that. And that would really imagine messing with Vader's mind so much to, like, I don't know, bring Padme back from the death. And he's kind of, that's for, I think, Vader, if anybody were kind of to remind him of who Anakin was, that he was Anakin, I think it wouldn't be Obi-Wan, it wouldn't be XYZ, whoever he met in the past, but I think it would be Padme Amidala. Padme
and the showing of, like, his children, maybe when they were small, and kind of, you could really mess with Vader, especially if Thanos only had the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
I think that's, or the Mind Stone and the Reality Stone. Being able to do that, just to be able to, like, this could have been your life, and this could have been what you could have had, what you always wanted, but you turned to the dark side. I think if Thanos did not have the Infinity Gauntlet, then Vader would kick his butt.
It would be Vader for sure.
It would be Vader if he has no stones. I think this is the trick, though. How many stones would Thanos need in order to beat Darth Vader?
When you said how many stones, all I thought was, how many, Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the center of Tootsie Roll of a Tootsie Roll of center of a Tootsie Pop?
Yeah.
A one,
a two, a three.
Crunch. A three.
I thought you were making fun of the, how many stones does he need?
No, my mind.
My mind's dirty.
Your mind's always in the gutter.
But I personally think, if Thanos has maybe the Reality Stone and the time, not that Time Stone, the
even
Mind
the Time Stone.
If he just had those two, he would be able to know more about Darth Vader's past. He could just completely mess with Darth Vader. If he had just maybe the Power Stone, that would give him a good advantage.
I don't know if he'd still win, though.
But I don't know if that would be a good fight. If it was Thanos with the Power Stone and Vader, that would be a
that
good
would be
fight.
Really interesting. Yes. Yeah.
So
let's see what some of you guys are saying. I love this question, Chris. Thank you so much.
Space Stone. That was the one that
Space. Thank you, Vanja.
And that's actually the very first one that we get revealed to, the Tesseract. And that's being able to transport.
Yeah.
So
let's see. Noah says Thanos greater than Darth Vader. Thanos, says Vanja. Debbie says if he had all the stones, absolutely Thanos. Jack says if he didn't have the stones, then Vader, and which we agree with.
Now here's another thing, though. Could Vader be able to, like, force grab the gauntlet off of Thanos and then put it on himself?
Whoa!
Then you would have Vader with an Infinity Gauntlet. That would be awesome to see.
Whoa, yeah, that would be really insane. That would give Vader, honestly, all the ultimate power. Imagine him having the Time Stone and altering time. Like, would he? I wonder if he would let himself go back to bring Padme back.
Oh,
like is that something that the Time Stone can do? You can just turn back time, right?
You can turn back time. He could do it. He could bring back all of the reality that he wants. I don't
And that
know
would create a
technically
whole
because
alternate parallel universe where there is the world that exists with Vader and one without, because Padme never died, so Anakin never turns to the dark side.
What would the reality of Star Wars be if Darth Vader, let's say Darth Vader around Empire Strikes Back, what the world would be like if he had gotten his hands on an Infinity Gauntlet, or just on a time stone, or just on one of the stones. I think that would be really fun because it's the same company now that owns them, so we could have
I would love
a
to
crossover.
see that. I would love to see that play out in a comic book first.
Yes.
Or a graphic novel, however you want to do it. I think that would
Disney,
be amazing.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
And also, you're welcome
Marvel
for the idea.
and Star Wars crossover with Darth Vader getting an Infinity Gauntlet.
And you take this idea, make sure you credit all of us, the movie couple and the movie bunch.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Because it came from one of the movie bunch's brainstorms.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Chris, for your super chat. We love it. What?
We'll call it movie bunch brainstorming. I like it. I'm a dork.
Writing session, go. And also Adam says, hey, nice haircut, Dustin.
Oh, yep. I got a lot of them here. I was just like, what I've been doing is just putting on like a number 5 and just been buzzing my hair. But then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it to a number 2 and just see what it looks like. Super short. Yep. It's not like I'm going to be going out any place fancy anytime soon. So once again, if it goes completely south,
yep,
I'm fine. And worst comes to worst, I'll wear a hat.
Yeah.
But honestly, I kind of like it. I think this is a little too short because it does kind of make my ears kind of stick out. So I'm kind of like, but yeah. Thank you. I hope you guys like it because you're going to be seeing it for a while.
Yeah, it'll be this length for a couple of weeks, and then it'll grow out again.
Fortunately, my hair does grow back pretty fast.
I would say so. Let's see other videos that are up on our channel. Project Power trailer reaction and review is now up on our channel.
That's awesome.
It's a new flex. It's a new flex. New Netflix movie coming soon on August 14th. Stars Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Dominique Fishback, I think is the young teenager's, the actress's name. So looks really interesting. Taking a pill that unlocks a superpower. You don't know what it is until you take the pill, and you have it for 5 minutes.
I think that's awesome.
Hopefully, I mean, if you're a bad person, can you commit a crime? I think you can do a lot of damage in five minutes.
Oh yeah, especially I mean, you go into like if you want to quickly rob a bank.
Yeah.
Hopefully you would know what your superpower is, because that's the big
you spend
problem.
like the first minute figuring it out.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm curious to see what you guys would do with that. If you had a 5-minute pill that you could give you superpowers, what would you choose to do with it? And the fact that you have no idea what it would do.
I mean, I don't want to do anything bad with it, Like I don't want to commit a crime. I don't want to go rob a bank. Do I want the money? Yes, but do I want to commit a crime? No. I wonder if it's any superpower, like the ability to see, it's like I don't want to get too sci-fi, but then they're turning themselves invisible, so I guess I can't.
It looks like you have like the generic superpowers. You have fire, you have Human Torch, you have Iceman, you have superhuman strength, which probably comes with invulnerability, you have invisibility, you probably have flight in there somewhere, but it's like generic ones. You're not going to have like time manipulation.
I would pick flight, but it depends on like I have to be real careful calculating that, because like I don't want to be in flight at the end of 5 minutes.
Woohoo! Oh no!
My wings! Just flapping.
Gotta find another pill.
And then how long does it take to kick in before you hit the ground?
Oh yeah, and hopefully
that's so stressful. No.
So I'm really curious on seeing how they do this, because that is a really cool catch-22 that you can play with in a movie genre for a magic pill kind of a thing.
And speaking of what we've been kind of filming, what we've been watching, we're finished with The Warrior Nun, review coming soon. We're finished with The Old Guard. Oh my gosh, watch it. Charlize Theron is amazing as expected. It's fantastic. Like I would have paid to see this in movie theater.
Honestly, I think I would have too.
And we've also been kind of diving into a new series. It's called Down to Earth with Zac Efron, the one and only.
I have to admit, it came out of nowhere, and I'm like,
I was surprised.
This is really good.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, check out Down to Earth.
I was really surprised just because I missed a super chat. Sorry. I was surprised just because I wasn't really expecting like this kind of like they're looking for traveling the world, looking for like sustainable energy and like how to like leave smaller carbon footprints and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was like just a fun lighthearted traveling show, and there's just like so much more behind it, and that's why I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this topic on pause because thank you so much, Chris, for a super chat, and he says
Woo!
one more for you. Favorite Tom Cruise movie? Mine is Top Gun, and that's actually why I went to the Navy.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Oh, that's
Well,
hard. Not the
thank,
question, but being in the Navy. I
thank you
mean,
for your
being
service,
any,
dude. I really.
yeah. Go ahead and
I
finish
was,
what
I
you were
was just
saying.
gonna say
Sorry.
thank you for your service.
Yeah, I think being in any branch of the military
Mm-hmm.
is tough. It takes just time and extreme focus and determination. So thank you for what you do. Wow, I like. Well, I know I can't be in the Air Force ever. At least I don't can't be a pilot because of these batty eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But the Navy's, it's just like intimidating to hear like, oh,
Yeah, to
you're in
actually
the
be like
Navy.
out at
Ooh,
sea for months at a time. And I'm just like,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think I haven't really gone out on a boat very much, but what is it? Maybe like a few years ago, Wendy and my family and I went to, where did we go kayaking? And we had to go take a boat out to the island. And
Oh, rough.
it was a rough boat ride. And I was one step away from just spewing over the side, going, no way.
And also, we weren't the only ones because
There were a bunch
the
of people.
staff was ready. Like, the staff was ready with ginger candy, trash cans, puke bags, and like they're on the way there, it was way worse. Like, the water was just so choppy and it was a little boat. So it was like,
Boom, boom.
and it's weird because, like, I've been on boats before
Mm-hmm.
and I've never been one to be like seasick, air sick, I get a little car sick now depending on where we're driving. But for the most part it's very mild.
Mm-hmm.
And this one I literally have to, apparently the trick is to keep your eyes on the horizon where the ocean and the sea meets.
Yeah,
And
because
you
that
just
doesn't
kind of
move.
you just kind of stare at it. And it was the most agonizing like 30 minutes or 40 minutes. It felt like a lifetime. And just to know that once we get there, we got to take the boat back. So I was trying to like just
That was like the boat ride back was a lot easier.
it was
I
a lot
think.
easier. I
but
think we were
still pretty
also
bad.
tired and we were also like prepped for it. I think that's one of the things like I was not prepped for.
Yeah, I made sure to take a little extra motion sickness pills before I went.
I was so close to being just so sick and I was like, I feel terrible for anybody who legit always gets like seasick.
Yeah.
Even if they're on like a giant big cruise ship. Like I am so sorry. It's a terrible feeling.
But your
favorite
Tom
Cruise
Cruise
movie.
movie. Top Gun is up there. I
That's
have
a
to
great
admit,
one.
that's a classic Tom Cruise
Yeah.
movie too.
There's so many.
So many of the Mission Impossibles are really good.
I gotta say, it's probably
Ghost Protocol was really good.
was that
but
the
then
one that I
again,
liked?
I also really like Minority Report. I mean, this is the
I
problem
gotta
with
look
Tom
up
Cruise
how many.
is that Tom Cruise has been in a million movies, from The Firm to
Interview with the Vampire.
Interview with a Vampire. I mean, and a lot of them
Jerry
are like
Maguire.
yeah. Just so many movies. It's
Mhm.
hard to limit them, and so many different kinds of movies too. So it's really tough to say, but I'm partial to some of the later Mission Impossibles
Yeah, that's kind of where I am now.
with
I'm
Tom
trying
Cruise.
to.
But I remember The Firm being really good. Yeah, Jerry Maguire, classic movie. So, and now it's kind of like, what other ones? Risky Business.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow!
What was the 7th Mission Impossible? The
the
one with Rebecca. Not the newest one.
It was the one after Ghost Protocol, I think.
Rogue Nation.
Rogue
right?
Nation, that's what it was.
I
That one was good
absolutely loved it. I remember sitting in the screening watching it, being completely blown away and so excited, and then seeing it again in theaters, and then again, and then again because I just loved it so much, especially since like the airplane stunt he pulled right in the beginning, and I thought
too. Mm-hmm.
if they're putting this major stunt in the beginning, what are we getting at the end? Because I thought that was the trump card. I thought that was the trump card. I thought
Mhm.
that when we saw it in the trailers when he was doing that stunt, and you know that he did it for real, I thought that he that was going to be like how the movie ends, right?
Yeah.
With that giant stunt. No, it wasn't right in the beginning.
A great little part, a movie that he didn't have a big part in, Tropic Thunder. It took me forever to go, holy cow, that's Tom Cruise
Yeah.
in that movie.
When he talked, you could hear the voice.
Yeah,
But
he did not look
face
like
and
it.
the action.
And what is it? Someone else. There was a whole. I mean, Few Good Men.
Yes. Oh, that's
I
a
want
good
the
one
truth,
too.
especially him working with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So it's hard to choose because Tom Cruise has been in many Oscar-winning movies.
Mhm.
So, and so many pop culture movies.
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
Yes.
I like that one, Christopher.
That's a really great question. A hard one to pick.
Yeah, because there's just too many.
The man's filmography is just too long. Let's see what a couple of you guys are saying.
I don't know why, but
okay, Mission Impossible 4. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Cruise movies, Mission Impossible 3. What else?
When I was younger, I think I really liked Mission Impossible 2, but then I went back and saw it and I was like,
The Outsiders, Danger Zone.
Outsiders. Yeah, man, when he was young in that one.
Yeah. Ghost Protocol, A Few Good Men, Collateral.
Rain Man. Oh my gosh.
That's a great film.
That's an amazing movie.
With Dustin Hoffman. Yeah.
See, it's hard because you keep on getting more and more and more and more movies that you're just like, oh yeah, that's right. And yeah, there's just too many of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the one that it
American
took me
Made.
a while.
Yeah. There's what's going on?
Born on the 4th of July.
Oh.
Wait, was that?
I don't think I saw that one.
That was an intense movie.
Yeah, tons of fantastic movies. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. It's just, I think it's a how many movies have Tom Cruise have you seen? Because I don't think I've seen all of them. I've seen most of them.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've seen all of them. Chris, that's a really fantastic question. Thank you so much. And then I saw that there was a follow-up question about the Old Guard. Yes, there will be a review for it. Yes. We're going to be filming it. You guys should have it soon.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to film 2 different reviews today. And then you'll edit one, I'll edit one, and we're hoping to get it up probably by tomorrow, if not tonight.
There's just a lot going on that we can't talk about yet. So there's time has never been on our side. It's not on our side this week, but we welcome the opportunities. So more to come about that. Sorry about being vague. And also, you guys, the movie Bunch poster, it is still in progress. I have all of your photos if you sent it in. I have it in the email. I actually opened them and then marked them as unread, so I know that those are the ones that I have to go back to. That's how I organize things. So that is coming. And let's go ahead and move on to our news flash. So for today, a ton of topics, and let's discuss these topics and see which ones stand out to you. There's a Lego version of the classic NES coming soon. There's a viral video. What is cake? Am I cake?
Or not?
Are you cake? Are you cake? We're all cake. Giancarlo Esposito in the Far Cry 6 trailer. We're going to look at Cheetah in a new Wonder Woman 1984 poster, and there's going to be a new Rorschach comic. Dustin, which one of these pieces of news stand out to you?
Well, the 2 that I actually liked watching the most was probably the Lego Nintendo, which I was like, this is a really cool build to not just, because not only with Legos it's fun building it, but it's also just really fun to be able to display them. And it looks like this is going to be a really fun display piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, because it's also a little interactive, and it has like a scrolling effect, it looks like, on the TV that you can build. So I think that looks really, really fun.
Yeah.
And what was the other? There was another one that I was like, oh yeah, and that one too, which was the cake or not. It's one of those things that I can just sit there and I can just be like, that is so cool. No matter how many times they cut into a makeshift eggplant or cut into an onion that turns into a cake or a roll of toilet paper, I'm like, that just looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool, and it's really impressive was when they cut into that onion. The skin of the onion where it would normally flake off, it actually did that, but it was cake. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you do this when they cut into like the little mussel or the oyster? It's all
Yes.
like glossy and kind of wet looking on top, but it's cake. There was pizza, lemon, a shoe, a Lego cake, lemon, lettuce, taco, and I think a croissant sandwich, like a breakfast
Yeah.
sandwich. It was just really unbelievable what they can do with like bake, like
The
with
fondant
pastry,
and
yeah, and
stuff.
fondant and paint jobs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where the next time you look at something, and I know it's kind of like started a whole like reaction video of people taking a knife to like their own little crock and going, I try to cut into this, but this isn't cake. And I thought that was just so fun. One of the news that stands out to me, and I want to talk about this specifically, was the cheetah poster. So
Yeah.
the reason why this isn't in one of our main topic lineups is because, sorry, let me just go back and show you guys. I actually pulled um a little screenshot here. It was tweeted out by Wonder Woman News, Wonder Woman 84 headquarters. So this is not like an official Wonder Woman's account. It's not been tweeted out by any of the major publications. It's not been tweeted out by WB, by the Wonder Woman movie account, by DC, or by Patty Jenkins, or Gal Gadot, who all of them we normally would have done. So I don't know if this is a real poster. I don't know if it's actually fan art. I don't know if it's leaked. And that's why we're telling you guys this now. So I don't know. We don't know if Cheetah is going to look like that in the movie. But I will say, if she does look like that, I say that looks pretty good.
I think that looks pretty cool too. I actually really like that kind of a look because I was expecting to see a little bit more of a mutated esque cheetah or a mutated Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
And all of these pictures that they were showing were showing her as just human. So I'm
Yeah.
like, are they going to transform her or are they going to kind of leave her as this more human-esque villain that still has animal-like powers? Because Cheetah has always been her namesake, more cheetah-like character.
Yeah. I mean, if they stick to this image that we saw, if that's what the final look is going to be, I'd be satisfied with it. But if
Yeah.
they want to take it in a different direction and you know do their own thing, I wouldn't mind it either. I think I'm just like really excited to see like a Wonder Woman Cheetah showdown. If you read the
Yeah.
comics, you kind of know their relationship with each other and what this face off could potentially look like,
Yeah.
depending on how closely they follow the source material.
And the good thing is if what is it? They do more of a transformational effect on Kristen Wiig. It's going to be easier for them to do fight scenes.
Yeah.
Because we know that Gal Gadot can do some fight scenes. She's
Of
done an
course.
amazing job in all of the Wonder Woman movies, all the parts with Wonder Woman. But I'm not sure if Kristen Wiig can. I don't know if she's done much action. I don't know if she's done much stunt work.
Mhm.
But if at the time of her fight she is more transformed, it's a lot easier to throw in the CGI effect to make it look like it is more of and it is actually Kristen Wiig doing the fighting. So I'm hoping that that's actually works in their benefit, so to speak.
I 100% believe that Kristen Wiig has been in training or was in training. I'm sure that's paused now to
Yeah.
be able to do what she can with the fight scenes that are given. I also don't see Kristen Wiig as the actress to be like, oh, I've been offered the role as Cheetah, and then like just letting the stunt person do all the work. Like, I imagine that she would be like, yes, and wanting to do as much as she is allowed to do.
Yes.
To be as safe as possible. So like, I am ready to see her and Diana Prince like throw down. I am so stinking excited.
Some of the best Wonder Woman fights in the comic books is with Cheetah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really, really hope that they just have this brutal fist, just full on bat, what is it, more like a brawl kind of a thing, because that's kind of how they fight, is just very brutal and very just no holds bar kind of a thing.
I love this comment from David, who writes, nothing like cats, thank goodness.
Would that mean we would have, what is that, a version with CGI Kristen Bell and kind of
And also, thank you so much for your super chat, AMR Nail.
That's actually,
I hope they don't do Cheetah in CGI like they did in Cats. Creepy. Like,
oh my
would
god,
she have hands?
true.
Would she have paws? Would she have a butthole?
Oh, there'd be a whole Wonder Woman 1984.
I heard that they were gonna
with a
do
butthole
that.
version.
I heard that they were like, I don't know if that's a fan theory or not, but
for
that they were gonna maybe do that, and I'm like, oh no, yeah, I'm gonna put my money out there and say they're not gonna do that. She's gonna look badass, like, and also like once they do this, once we see Cheetah in Wonder Woman 1984, I'm hoping that maybe, and I don't know if I actually want this or not, but then maybe that's kind of like a step in a direction where maybe we can see Thundercats live action.
That I wouldn't.
Chitara, come on now.
I wouldn't mind a Thundercats live action movie. The cartoon remake that they did, I think, started off really good. The first 2 episodes of that remade Thundercats movie, TV series, was really good. But then all of a sudden, they just put in all filler episodes. After that, maybe 1 or 2 other episodes were good, but after that, it didn't really progress the story at all. Mm-hmm. And I really wish they would have done a better job with that Thundercats remake.
Yeah. And now it's the time if people want to, when production is ready to get started and stuff like that. And who knows that there's not a script and an idea floating out there for a live action Thundercats. We just haven't heard about it yet. I'm sure. I'm actually positive that I'm sure there's a script out there.
There's probably a couple of them.
Yeah.
Just like there's probably a couple He-Man ones too.
Yeah, He-Man. We have She-Ra, the animated series. So it's, it'll come in time. Okay, let's
one last thing. I'm also really curious about the Rorschach comic. The thing is, though, I'm just not I'm not educated in Watchmen comic book, in the Watchmen comic book, and Rorschach. So I think this is really cool to be able to kind of expand the universe a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know enough about it to be like super jazzed about it. I'm like, I'm more like, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Well, according to the Hollywood, and I actually put up a little screenshot of the, sorry, AMR. Hold on a second. I got to take that off. Sorry. Okay.
There we go.
All right, there we go. Sorry about that, you guys. So according to the Hollywood Reporter, the 12-issue series is taking place in the same universe as the Watchmen comic book, and it's going to be written by Tom King with art by it's either George or Jorge Fornes. And this is set 35 years after the conclusion of the universally acclaimed Alan Moore / David Gibbons Watchmen series. Rorschach follows an investigation into an assassination attempt against the first candidate to stand against President Robert Redford in decades, one of who was dressed as Rorschach, despite his having died in 1985 at the end of the original series. So this is like when they play with timeline like that and they kind of expand what we know.
Yeah.
To me, it's always really interesting, and I feel like this is something I could like devote some time into, reading. I was going to say into reading.
Some of the expanded universe stuff that they've been doing for Watchmen, the TV show. If you guys haven't seen Watchmen on HBO, oh my God, I'll recommend it to anyone who ever.
So good. And Regina King.
Oh my God, she did an amazing job. But now that if this is something that I can just jump into to where I don't really need much backstory, then I think that's going to be cool.
Yeah. Oh, True Troy Story. Hello and welcome back. Thank you for your super chat.
Thank you so much, dude.
I need an authentic Avatar: The Last Airbender remake like yesterday.
Yes.
No M. Night Shyamalan involved. Please. I still haven't gotten over how much I did not like that movie.
Well, just the fact, I remember an interview with him. And they were like, yeah, we're working hard on Avatar: The Last Airbender for you guys, putting together some really cool bending. And then the bending that we got was 5 earthbenders doing 25 moves to have a stone float across the screen. And I'm like, really? That's what you've been working really hard on? And I could talk for hours. We could have an hour-long talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender movie and how much it's just like, how stupid are you? changing the names of beloved characters. It's not even changing the names. It's just like we're just gonna mess around with the pronunciation. Why?
Why would you when the source material, which is still available,
Yeah.
all over for people to watch and see? Why would you change that? Why would you change that? Like, it bothered me so. It bothered me so much. It just like, what happened?
I
'Cause I was so
know.
excited seeing like the weapons and the set.
I was talking it
and
up
the
to
costumes.
everyone.
I was like, this is going to be fantastic. And, you know, especially knowing that the writers and the creators of the show was working with M. Night Shyamalan on this, and the fact that Shyamalan's kids were into the series, that made me go, oh my gosh, he's going to have such extensive knowledge and resources to make this just like a fantastic live action. And I was like, no, it was the entire movie played like an Ember Island episode.
Yeah, it really looked like he was like, this cartoon's stupid. You want me to make a movie? Fine, I'm going to make a It's like he deliberately tried to screw with it.
Don't know what happened.
So I don't know what happens. So Netflix, when you make your live action Avatar TV show, you better not screw it up. You're going to have so many people come after you, and they're going to cancel their memberships on Netflix. So don't screw it up, Netflix.
Wow, Dustin just got savage, and don't usually see that side of him. So we feel the same way to Toy Story. We feel absolutely the same way. Like we that, or just like give us another animated series that's within that Avatar universe. You know, now we've seen Aang's story, we've seen Korra, and like, do we explore the next Avatar, or do we explore the story of a Nunbender?
During that time, that would actually be really interesting. But something else that I was watching a video about is what happens after Korra, because since the Avatar state gets broken and no other Avatar, they don't know whether or not this is the end of the Avatar state or if it's starting it over again, kind of a thing. So Korra is not able to speak to the past Avatars. That means all of the next Avatars are also not able to speak to any of the past Avatars. So she starts to write a book, and this book is deliberately designed to be like, since you can't talk to me in the future, whoever you are in the future, here's my notes. These are what my thoughts are. What you'd have to do is also write in this book so you can pass it to the next Avatar.
It's like Warrior Nun.
Yeah, where they just keep on passing down the book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's an interesting concept, to where the Avatars can no longer talk to each other. Or can they? We'd have to find out in the next series whether or not the Avatars could talk to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess keep that book away from firebenders, or protect it with some sort of spell energy, so like no element can actually damage it.
Yeah.
Like, or wrap it in something.
Make a whole bunch of copies of
it. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, True Toy Story, for your super chat. And Chris Mendez with properly done live action Legend of Zelda movie. What could be more awesome than that? I like,
we've been saying this for years.
Like, I would like, it's got to be an epic adventure. You got to cast someone who is like that good range where you can continue to use the same actor as Link throughout the film, and maybe watch them grow up with that series. You know what I'm saying? So like,
this is the hard thing though. In the games, Link doesn't talk.
No line for the actor whatsoever.
So, and that's a big thing that a lot of the fans are going to be very nitpicky about, is the fact that Link does not talk.
Great point, Dustin.
So how do you make a story where the main character does not talk? So that is a struggle. It's kind of like one of the big problems with making a Hulk movie is the fact that you can only do so much with the Hulk, where he's in Hulk form, where he's smashing things. So you have to focus on Hulk, but you're really focused on Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Now they've kind of figured out a way to kind of make it work with the Hulk. You have to find a way to make it work with a character that doesn't talk, or make your character talk and find a way to get the super fans to be okay with it. I think if you made the character talk, but they only talk a little bit.
You just do grunts.
Well, not.
But that's not him.
That's not. That would be hilarious if that's really him. Every time he opens up a treasure chest, he doesn't talk, but every time he pulls out a gem, he's like,
the whole movie freezes. Da-na-na-da, rupee. Da-da-da-da. Or like anytime the door opens. Oh my gosh, how funny. Yeah, that would be amazing. They have to have the right writers, the right setting, the right actor,
Yeah.
and just a lot of combinations to make the whole thing right in order to be as epic as we all want it to be.
Very true.
We're such Zelda fans. It's amazing. Thank you so much for you guys' super chat. We have
Woo!
one from AMR Nail, who writes, "What classic cartoon TV series should be made into a live action movie / series? For me, Sailor Moon, but dark." Woo! Speaking my language.
That sounds like fun.
Oh my
Make
gosh.
a dark Sailor Moon.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
There's also
a live action, like to be able to see a live action Tuxedo Mask. Yes, yes. Like one of my first like anime cartoon childhood crushes
was
Tuxedo Mask.
That's a lot of the cartoons that I've watched have already kind of been made. You know, Ninja Turtles was already made into one. He-Man has already been made into one. And I don't think that I think it was in the 80s or 90s when Masters of the Universe came out. That movie doesn't get the credit it deserves. Even though it was cheesy, I think they actually did a pretty good job at the time of being able to adapt it from a cheesy kids TV show to a live action movie. I wouldn't mind seeing a new live action movie of He-Man, live action movie of Thundercats. I was huge into Thundercats.
Yes, Thundercats for sure.
Gosh,
I'm trying to think, because a lot of them have been remade already. I would say Transformers, but it's been done.
True. Yeah,
I would say G.I. Joe, but it's been done. I don't know necessarily if I want to see a Care Bear or a Smurf.
Well, they've already did a Care Bear. They already did a Smurfs one.
Live action?
Live action Smurfs. Remember, it was with Neil Patrick Harris. They made like 3 of them.
Right. La 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 la.
So I mean,
maybe gargoyles. Maybe gargoyles.
You hit me.
Goliath was also another crush of mine. Sorry, thank you.
But yeah, that was an awesome, awesome cartoon, and yeah,
I don't know
what? That's a really good one.
Would you consider that classic cartoon series though, or is it just old?
Good enough. I think that's classic enough.
It's classic in my heart. Does it count?
It's and you know what? You were really into Darkwing Duck when you
Darkwing Duck. Just sing all the animated. Chip and Dale, Rescue Ranger,
Tailspin.
Yeah.
Tailspin would be a fun one.
Oh my god!
Because now they can do it with all the CG. I mean, heck, if you're able to make a live action Jungle Book, then yeah, you're able to do a live action Tailspin.
What about Gummy Bears? Gummy Bears.
I haven't watched
here and there and
I haven't watched Gummy Bears in a really long time. Yeah, I would have to watch it again and be like, no, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. A great comment by True Choice Story, who writes, this is talking about Avatar. That was the ultimate M. Night twist. That was the twist. That really was the twist.
The fact that we were
mispronouncing everything, taking something that you thought I was gonna do was just like to make this incredible movie, and then it's like, bah. Not that great. Yeah, amazing.
Well, but thank you guys so much for your super chats.
Thank you so much.
That is a really good question. I really like that old cartoon.
Yeah, thank you, AMR Nail. And another super chat from True Choice Story. Thank you so much. I want Appa and Momo.
Appa and Momo.
They should do that.
Appa
Why not?
One of my favorite ones.
Why
I think
not?
It was where I think Sokka was had like the water, like the Sokka. Cactus. Okay. He just ate some of the cactus,
and that's when he
made him hallucinated.
Right?
And then Appa and Momo start this huge samurai fight, and I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
So yeah, Appa and Momo, I would love to see more of them. That's honestly, I'm actually really excited about seeing how they do Appa and Momo in the live action Netflix.
I would also, and this is not like an original idea at all, but to kind of talk a little bit more about Avatar: The Last Airbender, I would love like an Azula standalone.
Oh yeah, especially what happens after her.
Such a great villain.
Mm-hmm.
Gave her father kind of a run for his money in the term of like she's cuckoo in the head, and she's seriously amazing. Thank you guys all so much for your super chats. We love you guys. Thank you for the support.
Did we miss a super chat? I think there was one that we might have missed.
Oh, okay. Let me go back.
That went by really fast.
Let me go back.
So are we at? Oh, wait.
Yes, you're right.
Aha! I
Absolutely
cut
right.
it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jim Sandlin, who writes Peacock launched today, but like HBO Max, it wasn't on Roku and Fire Stick. Oh, that's not good. What is the reason their streaming services are not available on these devices? That's a great question.
It's probably all licensing.
You
That
think so?
it probably is. I mean,
Is it because Peacock and Amazon are in competition with one another? And that's why like it's a network versus network thing?
might be. I mean, you wouldn't want to get your you don't want to have your
But, like,
competition on your platform.
It's just weird because that's what the main point of like Roku and Fire Stick and maybe even like the is it Apple? Not I don't want to say Apple TV, but like these
things that you just plug into your
you
TV.
plug it like Chrome or whatever, the Fire Stick. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And like that's the whole point is you have the Roku. Like we know tons of people, we don't have it, but we know tons of people that have it. That's where you can like watch YouTube and Netflix, Amazon Prime, blah 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 blah. But like it doesn't make sense for Peacock and or HBO Max to not be on there. It doesn't make sense. I feel like you are alienating yourself from the consumers that you could have.
True.
Like that's a built-in audience. Even if they don't watch HBO Max, but it's available to them, why wouldn't they maybe then add that service to them? And everybody wins.
My guess is that it's all licensing. Is the fact that you would have to get them on board. You would have to find a deal that's also beneficial to them.
Mhm.
And here's another thing: if you're going to be watching Netflix and YouTube, are the people who own HBO and get Peacock, are they not going to have Netflix and YouTube? Kind of thing. Are you really bringing in a new audience? Are you really bringing in a new people that wouldn't be a part of your demographic already?
Mhm.
So is it really beneficial for them to include them, and is it really not beneficial to have them on there? That's where we don't know. I don't know what the numbers are.
Yeah, that's really interesting, and that's something we hadn't looked into because we don't use a Roku or Fire Stick. So that's really interesting to hear. I did hear that people were having issues with their Roku, and they can't access Peacock, and they were like upset about it because they were looking for tons of. Apparently, there's tons of like really great program, really great shows and stuff that you can watch on Peacock, and now like people who were looking forward to it now can't get it, and that's pretty disappointing. And there's a couple of comments too in the chat. Thank you guys for your input. And this may be part of the reason why Jack says we don't have HBO Max in the UK, and I'm so disappointed. So that could be like a reason. HBO and Peacock is still maybe available only in the US, and I wonder if like we'll take that as like a Disney Plus thing. Like Disney Plus was available here in the US first, but not available in the UK until recently.
It's just weird.
But was that available? But you can still access Disney Plus, I think, on your Roku and Fire Sticks. So like that kind of throws our other argument like out the window. I don't know. It's really interesting, but I'm gonna want to kind of look into this a little bit more.
And then again, though, the reason why Disney Plus might be available is because they actually Disney Plus was kind of agreed to a license,
maybe
kind of a thing. So that's my only guess. I would actually have to dig into that a little bit more.
For sure. Thank you so much, Jim, for sending in your question. We are going to look into it and we will circle back to it on Saturday's stream for sure. Now on to the rest of the topics, and we're kicking off this part with a bit of solemn news, and that is to talk about the three people that we lost over the past few days, and that and they are Kelly Preston, Naya Rivera, and Grant Imahara, and just each story so absolutely tragic, absolutely an absolute heartbreak, and it's so close to each other too, which is like, I mean, I don't mean their relationships, I mean, just the announcements of their death and stuff. Like it's just all tragic, all terrible. We lost Kelly Preston to breast cancer, Naya Rivera in a swimming/boating accident. I don't want to say boating accident because that's inaccurate. A swimming accident in Lake Piru, and Grant Imahara, and let me just take this off for a second. So we just want to take a moment and give a moment of silence. These three, all three have had huge impacts on people, on the industry. So we're going to go ahead and give them a moment of silence. Okay, sorry. I was gonna start crying.
It's tough. I mean, the one, I mean, they're all tragic.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that
Rivera.
Naya, but she died saving her child
That's what the yeah that's what I mean.
from.
Nobody was there, so nobody can say with 100% certainty. But that's what in the press conference and everything that's
Mhm.
what they said that it,
Which
it looks like she got caught in like
is
this
like some kind of.
whirlpool or some sort of current in the lake, and she was able to get her son back on board, but she wasn't able to have the energy to get out of that herself, which is so absolutely tragic. For Kelly's battle with cancer, that's just hard no matter what, and you and I both have had experiences with
Yeah.
losing someone to cancer, so that's just it's never not awful. Losing people is never not awful. With Grant Imahara, I have so many of my friends knew him, and I only got to meet him a handful of times, but every single time that I've interacted with him, he is the most friendly, nicest, treats you like the most important person he's talking to currently. He gives you all of his attention, and that's not something you see often with a TV personality or a celebrity. And not that's not to say that people are rude. It's just that they have a full schedule. They have a lot of things going on
Yeah.
that we may or may not know about. But anytime that I interacted with Grant Imahara, it was always I felt like he made the time to talk to me, when to be like, oh, you're a fan of my work, and he appreciates that exchange, and which makes me appreciate him even more so, and just to know how much he means to my friends who were friends with him. It just like it's hard to go on Twitter, and it's hard to go through social media to read these very personal stories and see these very personal photos that people are sharing, just to know what kind of how big of an impact Grant had on their lives. It just makes
Yeah.
me even more sad that he's gone.
And it's really tough. I mean, one of the things, I lost my brother to cancer. But when I was going through that phase after he died, one of my comforts was to sit down and watch Mythbusters. And I went so Mythbusters always held a really near and dear place to my heart. And I loved Grant Imahara. I loved hearing when Wendy got to meet him. I was like, tell me all about him. And she was telling me
Yeah.
what an amazing guy he
Yeah.
is. And it's just so tough when these tragic deaths happen. So it's, yeah, 2020 kind of sucks.
Boo to 2020. I don't want you. I don't know you. I don't like you. Thank you guys for taking part of that moment of silence with us. Oops,
Mm-hmm.
I just clicked on the wrong thing. Our next story is, and I know that Adam was kind of he left a comment in the chat. So Adam, I did see it. I was ignoring you. I just wanted to save it because our next story is talking about Yojimbo. Let me go ahead and put up this fun little graphic that I saw. Da, da, da. Yay!
Oh, it looks so awesome.
Looks so good. So this 35-year-old comic book series by Stan Sakai is coming to the world of television for the first time ever. Netflix and I think it's pronounced Gaumont teams up for the CGI animated series, and it's titled Samurai Rabbit: The Usagi Chronicles. And Stan Sakai will serve as an executive producer alongside James Wan and Gaumont's Nicholas Atlin. I'm gonna mess up all of these names. Terry Callaghan. There's so many more. And I actually wow, there's all the names I'm gonna mispronounce. So I should probably put them maybe in the description in the comment section below. And also, according to Variety, rather than centering around the comic books protagonist Miyamoto Usagi, the series will take place in the far future and follow the teenage rabbit Samurai Yuchi, descendant of the aforementioned great warrior, on his epic quest to become a true samurai. Yuchi will lead a ragtag team of misfit heroes, including a roguish bounty hunter, a cunning ninja, an acrobatic pickpocket, and a faithful pet lizard. What? Cute! As he battles in-depth charging moles. Wow, okay. In-depth charging moles, metal tipped wing bats, and monsters from another dimension, all in the pursuit to become the best samurai Usagi. This is just it's so exciting to me, and I am really happy that like this series and this universe is finally getting to shine in
Yeah.
the spotlight of television.
I was super excited when I saw this. I have to admit, there was a little bit of a, yeah, oh, well, that still sounds cool. I wanted that Yojimbo to be in this because I loved his character because of the connection that it had with the Ninja Turtles. I even had the Yojimbo action figure.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, but my mom
Cute.
gave all of my Ninja Turtle action figures away. They were pretty beat up, I have to admit.
Aw.
But I loved his connection. I loved his story. I loved when they brought him in to the animated cartoons. He was always a really cool character. So at first I was super excited to see him. But now knowing that it takes place many years later and it's his descendants that the story is really about, it still sounds super cool when they were describing it. It's a group of ragtag misfits of a bounty hunter and a pickpocket. And I'm like, okay, I'm sold. I want to see this so bad.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, I'm still super excited. I'm like, this is the kind of stories in animation that get me really hyped.
Yeah, I think there's you're kind of like limitless in what you can do in animation.
Mhm.
Granted, it does take time to create and everything, but I think the end result for this is gonna look real good. Like I'm salivating just thinking about it already. Like I kind of imagine these like comic book panels come to life in full color. It's
Mhm.
gonna look fantastic. Adam says he owned the 2003 Usagi figure, and since it's about his descendants, that means Space Usagi may even make an appearance.
Ooh,
So super
that's right.
expandable. Blade GTR says Usagi Yojimbo was such a surprise yet welcome addition to the Ninja Turtles universe.
Mhm.
Absolutely, yes.
I
Absolutely,
remember
yes.
when I was first introduced to him, I was like, "What is this? This is
Mhm.
he is so cool."
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of a thing. So I love him. I'm so excited to see him in kind of like his own little series following this mythology.
I
So
wonder if this also means we could get like a cross over with the turtles into that series just for like an episode, whether it's a flashback or however you want to play with the time.
Well,
It-
the Ninja Turtles have gone into the past, and the Ninja Turtles have gone into the future.
and there's a whole other dimension thing,
we've
so
also
anything works.
had Ninja Turtles in
space.
space. So whatever they throw at us,
Yeah.
we could have in one episode. I think that'd be really cool.
That would be so cool.
Just to have one episode to where you kind of just do whatever you want with the Ninja Turtles and you can just play it off as no, well, this is a completely different reality.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this because they can, there's so much,
Mhm.
so many directions that they can go. And it's such a great base and a starting point for a
Yeah.
story.
Oh my gosh, the construction has finally stopped.
Oh, you're right.
I'm so happy. I don't hear machines. I don't hear trucks. I don't hear beeping. I'm so happy right now. And I'm so sad. Like now, like our show is almost over. Why?
Figures.
Why? Our final topic tip for today, we're going to be talking about The Bad Batch. And before the show, I went on to the movie couple Twitter and I put up a little poll. I don't know how many people because we don't have that many followers at the
on tweet
on tweet
on the tweets
on the tweets
tweets.
But I did put up a little poll asking how people feel. How do you feel about the Bad Batch animated series? And the answers are what you can pick. The choices are yes, I can't wait. I'm intrigued, or not for me. And 55.6% voted yes, I can't wait. 44.4% for I am intrigued, and nobody voted for not for me. So that's I think resoundingly, because we're all Star Wars fans, we got to see a bit of the Bad Batch in Clone Wars. I think people are kind of like, even if they're not like woohoo, they're like, yeah, okay. So here is, let me go ahead and put up
one of the big problems for me.
Yeah.
Was when I first heard this, I was assuming that this was going to take place during the Clone Wars.
Mhm.
So I was at first kind of put off by this.
Yeah, and let me go ahead and find the article that talked about this. Is this it? Yes. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So we were obviously introduced to the Bad Batch in the last season, the final season of the Clone Wars, and they had a 4-episode story arc, which I kind of went, whoa, these are unique and different. And just like Dustin says, the most interesting part is that this series is going to show them in a post Clone Wars era where they take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. So this is going to be really, 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 really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly I am most excited about the timeline, just like Dustin
Yes.
says. I think that I have so many questions. My question would be like, were they affected by Order 66?
Oh, that is a really good question to see whether or not they wouldn't have any
That's my big
Jedis to turn
question.
against.
But they're still clones.
True.
They're still clones, even though. So, and I wonder if just kind of like the way they operate, because they're like the Bad Batch, and they're kind of have and that's what sets them different from the other clones. Maybe they don't have the inhibitor chip, so maybe they weren't affected by it, which also opens up the doors for them to maybe run into the survivors of Order 66. And I am talking about Ahsoka Tano.
Yes.
I know Ahsoka and them never actually met, but
Rex did.
Rex and Ahsoka, kind of went off on their own. And the Bad Batch, obviously, we know that they survived. We don't know if it's
Yeah.
all of them, but I'm gonna guess so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess.
I'm pretty
so.
sure all of them survived.
So would they come together again? Also, D. Bradley Baker, voice of all the clones, literally has his work cut out for him. Like, he's gonna be voicing just in the sound booth all day, recording all the voices.
Switching from character to character to character. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's
Well,
gonna be fun.
Is he the voice of all of the Bad Batch clones?
Actually, that's a great question.
I thought their voices were different enough to where.
Oh, and also Debbie says young Kanan.
Oh, that would be fun. Then, oh, you know what? That's also something too. We would like to probably see how Kanan survived Order 66, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So that would actually be something pretty cool to put into the Bad Batch.
Yeah, I'm looking up on my phone right now who voiced the Bad Batch, and it gave me a movie with Jason Momoa. Oh, right. He was also, there was another movie called The Bad Batch.
Oh,
okay. Let me put
Star Wars, The Bad Batch.
Let me put Star Wars so I don't confuse it with okay.
And it's going to be animated, right?
Yes, animated series.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was going to be an animated series. And you know what? It's just, honestly, more Star Wars. Come on, give me
Don't mind more Star Wars.
Don't mind more Star Wars at all. Especially when it's something that I'm like interested in, because since they're working in the bounty hunter era, or the bounty hunter, I guess the bounty hunter world, you could bring in Mondo. You could, well, he probably wouldn't be a bounty hunter yet because he'd be a little bit younger in this stage. You could bring Cad Bane. You could bring in Boba Fett, because during this timeline, Boba Fett is still around.
Yeah.
So you could have Boba Fett in there. There's a lot of possibilities. So I'm very, very interested to see what is that called? Where they go with this. And yeah, I do also know, was it Kanan? They actually had a comic book saying what happened to him.
Sorry, I'm just trying to still Google. It's actually, I can't find this information somehow. So I'm going to just look up the Bad Batch episode and see if D. Bradley Baker voiced the Bad Batch instead, because I was trying to do it another way. But okay. So, according to IMDb, under D. Bradley Baker, it says Admiral Trench, Clone Troopers, computer voice.
Trench? Oh,
Trench.
really?
Yeah. So it doesn't give me specifically if he voiced all of the
maybe he didn't. I don't think he did.
Plus the Bad Batch. You think they all sounded different?
I remember them all sounding pretty different.
But I mean, D. Bradley Baker also voiced Appa and Momo, so
true.
I mean, that's you couldn't get two more different creatures and two more different sounds. So I think it's possible. I'm gonna keep looking while Dustin's gonna filter through you guys' comments.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I completely forgot, but Supersonic did remind me that yes, they did make Adam? Yeah. Did make a comic book on Kanan. And it wasn't until you mentioned that I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that they did that. Like, for the longest time, I did not know what happened to Darth Maul after Darth Sidious defeated him and Savage Opress, until I was like, oh yeah, that's right. They made the Son of Dathomir comic book, which was really, I saw like clips of it. Sometimes I watch breakdowns on YouTube on some of the comic books that I can't quite get out and read yet. but yeah, it's great to see that they expand the universe in there. But to have Kanan in there and what's his name, Cal from the one from I think someone mentioned it from Fallen Order. Ah, yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Adam mentions
Adam knows
Adam.
everything.
Yep.
Adam knows everything.
Yeah. So Cal from Fallen Order could make an appearance. It leaves a lot of space for you to just play in this world, especially if you have a group of misfits that are trying to either hide out from the Empire or they're kind of just trying to survive.
Mhm.
Sometimes those are the best stories.
Yeah.
Just people trying to get through the world, kind of like a Firefly
Yeah.
kind of scenario. To hey, we lost the war, but now how do we live in the world that we kind of helped create?
Yes.
In a sense.
Sorry, you guys. I am just not having the best luck at all finding out whether or not if it was only D. Bradley Baker who voiced Bad Batch or if there was other people. So I'll have to do a more extensive search. But as of right now, I cannot find it. So I'm so sorry. But I am really interested in this series. I'm mostly interested in the timeline because I think there's a lot to be explored there, and that's been one of my questions. It's kind of like because we were introduced to a lot of people, a lot of new characters in this final episode, or sorry, this final season of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so the Bad Batch survived. How? Where are they now? Who can they run into? The Martez sisters.
Mm-hmm.
We can also run back into them and see what happens. And then
true.
Yeah, and then there's also like Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, true. Obi-Wan's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
So it'd be really cool, yeah, if they stumbled upon him, but that means they would have to go to Tatooine.
Yeah.
Because that is where Obi-Wan is.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm actually really excited about this. The more and more I think about it, because I love their fight scenes, and it's just like a ragtag team of misfits, right? But
Yeah.
they work and move together as one so flawlessly. Like
Mhm.
each of them a piece of the puzzle. When you put them together, they don't form Voltron, but they fight together really well and makes for really great like action packed scenes. So I am really excited. Can't wait. Maybe they even come across Darth Maul. Who knows?
Very true.
There's all of that and more. So lots to explore there, and I am really excited. And according to the poll, it sounds like most people are excited about it too. So.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, that's the end of our show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. It was so much fun. Sorry that we were a bit distracted by the constructions. Hopefully the noise didn't bother you guys too much. I don't even think our mics technically picked them up, but if they did, we're so sorry. But yay, we won't have any construction noise on Saturday. So
nope.
Make sure
but
you guys,
next Wednesday we might.
Next Wednesday we might. So you guys, we look forward to seeing you guys again on Saturday. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button on this live stream. Let's get it up so more people can interact and see this. And we just have so much fun doing it, answering you guys' questions, chatting with you. It's been great. So, and Adam says, I didn't hear the construction, so you're good. Woo! It didn't bother us. I'm so glad because it was loud. Like this window behind us
it's not double pane.
It's not double pane, and it shook. It shook during the live stream. I was like, is this a mini earthquake? Do I need to grab the bags and do we need to grab our earthquake kit and go? So, all right. With that said, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You can also follow us on social media, and we are just at our names, The Movie Couple, at Wendy Lee Zaney, both on Twitter and Instagram. The Twitter one for The Movie Couple has an underscore after the word couple because The Movie Couple was already taken. So there is that. Well, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next live stream or in the next video. Bye.